got the knowledge in store. Oh yeah, Alan Lang, watching top of the flare. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film threads on firework, planting the seeds. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold. Pop your corn, turn down the lights. Get ready to groove through movie nights. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be.
Welcome, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Movies, movies, movies. Superman is coming, and it's a Barbie-like phenomenon. Superman is everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, if that's still going. People are talking about it. Viral videos. But is the movie good? We'll find out next week. Lots of other news stories, including your comments, questions, and concerns. And also Alan. Yes, Alan will be here today, and I'm here today, and I'm happy to talk to you. So let's get into it. Where is Alan?
China. Oh, this is. Oh, hold on. China. Oh, this is. Oh, hold on. China. Oh, this is. Oh, hold on. China. Oh, this is. China. Oh, this is.
That's not what I. Nothing.
I asked Chris Gore if my AI could promote my new movie. He said, of course, so long as I helped look for his friend Alan. How could I say no? Now, to my film threat fans and my haters, go out on July 25th and watch the Fantastic Four First Steps. Okay, now, Mr. Ng, Alan.
Are you friends with Pedro Pascal?
I must be. Wow. Hey, welcome back. I hazard to guess what you were doing.
Blowing a dog. Oh, yeah. Hey, that did not. That is, I was describing a scene from Superman. Let me get this clear. Saves a dog by blowing him. He's holding up the big kaiju.
By what?
Blowing a dog.
Okay.
You baited me.
No, you said it.
I did say it, but you kind of baited me there.
Baiting would mean that I prompted you to say it, or I subliminally had you say it. But no, you just went out there and did what you did.
There you go. Well, let's see who's here today.
Yeah, press M to start point 90 for 5. Countdown to Comic-Con starts now. Will this year be a stinker, or will it be a blast for movies and TV shows?
It'll be a blast, whether it's good for movies or TV shows.
Yeah.
I always have fun at Comic-Con, mostly from seeing people.
Yeah.
And usually by day 2, I've lost my voice.
Yes.
So it's
and you got your badge, right? Yeah.
Well, it's good that our panel is on Thursday. That's good. And we're doing 2 live just walking the floor at Comic-Con on Thursday and Saturday. We'll be doing that. So,
but you did get your badge.
I did. Where would I have gotten it?
In the mail.
Oh, I'll have to look. Wait, I didn't mean to put that up. I'm so sorry. Let me something else here.
I got mine in the mail. You should be getting yours in the mail.
Okay, I'm getting but we are doing a panel with Film Threat on Thursday, July 24th, 7 p.m. at the Marriott with filmmakers April Wright, Jeff Miller, who did Popeye the Slayer Man, our friend Jim Agnew, Tracy Lehman, who did Bob Trevino Likes It, and Tim Chismar, award this winning filmmaker, also a comedian and friend of the show, and myself. I'll be in that panel. I assume you'll be there, Alan.
I would be
hope.
there. I'll be there.
I would hope. So that's great. And thank you. And we will see you. I'll probably bring gifts. I have lots to give away.
Yeah. Swift -1 for 2. Superman doesn't have a Oppenheimer to pair up with.
Well, it does have the Fantastic Four 2 weeks later on its heels. So there you're going to go.
Patrick Lemire, 92 278. Alan is a master baiter.
He did bait me, and he's very good at it. So the very definition of a masturbator. And that
Mark Andre Roy. I'm not gonna lie. I actually like the clip put out today of Superman saving the dog.
Well, we're gonna watch that clip later because I just
Is there another
learned
clip?
about it.
Did I miss another clip?
I just learned about it, and now we're doing the first half hour. We'll talk, news stories. Then we'll get into Superman. We have a lot of Superman.
Just
stories.
saying, I've probably already seen 75% of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. And remember, Lord Thothy. What's this, Lord Thothy? Changing your name?
Yes, Lord Thothy says, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram, buy our merch, shop.filmthreat.com.
And we have our American AF collection. I've got a Film Threat American flag shirt. We'll have that up all the month of July. And in these designs you're seeing here, summer collection, American AF collection, they're going to all sunset after July as we go full spirit Halloween with our store. In August, it's all about Halloween, just like Spirit Halloween. And Andrew Cram 6032 gifted 10 Film Threat memberships. Did everybody change their name to numbers?
I think so. I think they're trying to screw with me.
It worked.
It
worked. But thank you so much for your support. And I do have to say thank you, Alan, for Monday. You hosted Versus. You've worked your butt off recently and just been so supportive. And everyone else who reached out with, kind words. Want to thank you all. I appreciate it. My mother's in hospice right now. I was in Michigan for a week, and she's still holding on. So thank you for all your kind words. One of the best parts was just hanging out with my sister and her husband, my brother-in-law, and my nieces. I have 4 nieces. They're all women, all so smart. They're all girl bosses in a good way. And my sister also has a garden, a chicken coop. She never pays for eggs. I had eggs every morning made by my sister and one of her daughters. And they took care of me, and it was so great to see family and tell stories about my mom. A pastor came in, gave last rites, and it was like, it's a weird thing to say, but it was very joyful. My mom had a huge impact on a lot of people, obviously myself. One of the things, I'll tell you a story, is when I was, obviously I loved movies, Star Wars, Godzilla, monster movies, science fiction. I loved those kind of movies as a kid, young kid. And I even went to, see all the John Hughes movies. And my mom she'd always remark, she'd say, those are fine. Go see those movies. But you gotta not go to the mall all the time. Go to the art house. And I went to and see those movies like Stranger Than Paradise. He's Gotta Have It. French films, foreign films. So our mom said, go to those mall movies. That's fine. But you got to see other movies that are art films. She drilled that into me. She was an avid moviegoer, and she went to see films at the Maple Theater in Michigan in the 70s and 80s. And I went there and I saw foreign films and I saw movies from all over the world. I went to the Detroit Institute of Arts. There was a guy who ran it. I believe he's still involved, named Elliot Wilhelm. People from Detroit, please confirm that for me. Elliot Wilhelm was the curator, ran much of that program. And thanks to him, I saw a lot of those movies and with my mom. So the reason I'm here talking to you is due to my mother, because she encouraged me to look beyond the mainstream and look at other types of movies that are out there and have a diversified taste in film. So you're not just Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar. If we just do that, you would think that everything is crap. It's not. You mix that up with Jane Austen Wrecked My Life, or Bob Trevino Likes It, one of my favorite movies this year by Tracy Lehman, who's on our Comic-Con panel. So part of the philosophy of Film Threat really came from my mother, she was so creative and an artist. And she was always doing pieces of art on the wall. She did the craziest thing. I'll end with this, that to this day we still talk about. The basement of our place in Royal Oak, Michigan, it was kind of dumpy, right? And the ceiling, it kind of leaks and it looks really gross. And my mom, because we couldn't afford to like paint it or do something like wallpaper, my mom took rolls of aluminum foil and stapled it to the ceiling. And it was the coolest thing. Kids in the neighborhood would come over and we'd hang out in the basement. They'd always look up, why do you have aluminum? Is that aluminum foil? It looked so cool. And that's just one of many stories about how kind of my mom's crazy in a good way. And, it's been difficult, but also reassuring, because being able to be with family and I just appreciate you all. So
you should mention, among the other things she did for you, she gave birth to you.
Yeah, that was also
a
big
one.
thing. Yeah,
that's kind of the most important
I
thing.
skipped over that one, but thank you, Alan, for reminding me.
And also to the chat is she is still with us, right?
Yeah, she's still with us.
Yeah.
She's just she's really hanging on, but she's not it won't be very long. So if you've ever had a relative in hospice, my father was as well. And it was weird. We're sitting there, like, my mom loved to do a thing if we have at a family gathering, she'd say, what was the best thing that happened and the worst thing that happened? Every member of the family had to go around and say their best and worst. And they're funny. And then of course I'm saying, well, I rank this person the highest. Our family goofs on each other a lot. Like, I had 3 sisters, so I play a lot of jokes. Anyways, so
your family's no different than mine.
Yeah, we just goof on each other and tell jokes, and the stories are funny, and there you go. So
I know. I'll say my sense of humor is not appreciated in my family.
Oh, really? Oh, we try to one up each other. It's bad. It's bad. So yeah. But thank you so much to everyone for all that. I'm gonna I'll let you know.
Yeah, keep us updated.
Yeah. Let's couple quick soups and we'll get to news. We have a lot.
Yeah, from Leadwall 8264. Apparently YouTube is putting these numbers on. Member for 20 months. Best wishes to your family.
Thank you so much. And I failed to mention today at the end of the show, in just over an hour, we are talking to the writer-director of Jurassic Games Extinction. That's right. Filmmaker Ryan Bellgardt will be here. His movie, The Jurassic Games Extinction, comes out very timely, just in time for Jurassic World Rebirth. I think I know which one is going to be better. So, yeah. Thank you. Oh, and wait, did we get this one? I'm so sorry.
No, we didn't. Over on Rumble from Matt G. Hammond for 2. Did you see the trailer for Running Man? Steve Harvey should have been the presenter.
Well, guess what, Matt G. Hammond? Let's look at that trailer.
Yes.
It dropped. You and I saw a longer version at CinemaCon for The Running Man. This is directed by Edgar Wright. I'm intrigued, but I don't know. Is it close to the book, which is kind of dark? Are you ready, Alan? You haven't seen this.
Do it.
Let's do it. Here we go.
Stop filming me!
Ben Richards, 35, married, 1 child, in medical crisis.
We need money for a doctor now.
Ben, what is up?
Employment status, blacklisted. But there's still a way out for you. It's the biggest show in the country.
Bloodlust is our birth. Set it free. Welcome to the Running Man.
People on these games never come back.
I'm not trying to get myself killed. So kiss my ass twice.
Right there is why you can win this game. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days with the entire nation hunting you down. And get your family out of Slumside for good.
I'm gonna come back here and burn this building down. I promise.
That's the spirit.
This is America, goddammit! And we don't put up with no bullshit! Yes! Hunt him down! Stop filming me!
Have you ever wondered if this game is rigged?
Guess we'll find out.
You might be moving up too fast.
Hey, buddy. You're on freebie.
You better run! I got a grenade!
Back at you.
I'm still here, you shit eaters. Hey, big boys!
Are you crazy?
I gotta say, it's filled with quips and spectacle, and where's the heart? I feel like, why do I care? I don't know. It kind of left me cold. What do you think?
Wow. Okay. I feel the exact opposite. I'm definitely more excited about this than I was when the original came out.
Right.
And maybe that's what I'm doing right now is I'm comparing it to the original. As much as I liked a lot of the Arnold Schwarzenegger, the action films of the 80s and 90s, that one just felt the most campy to me. And I think I was less excited about that one than the rest. This one, well, let's put it this way. They put together a good trailer for me. And so
I don't know. I'm not super thrilled. It's just like, and I love the lead actor. What's Glenn
Powell.
Glenn Powell. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
But it needs like it needs the heart story. It didn't slow down for a minute. I feel like it needs more, like, why this movie now? Because also, by the way, I could see The Running Man happening now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, effectively, Squid Game season 3, which I have seen and we'll talk about on Friday with spoilers, because I'm going to have to in order to explain my thoughts on it, is kind of an extension of that, right? Like, I feel like I could see this almost happening in real life, like a reality show.
Yeah. I mean, like the Squid Games, you get the sense that, this is it. It's do or die. It's do or die. And for all the people in the chat dumping on me, the best things about Running Man was Richard Dawson and Jesse the Body Ventura.
Well, I like Coleman Domingo. I mean,
I like Coleman Domingo.
Someone said Steve Harvey. That would be great too, but almost maybe too real because he does host a game show. So, but Coleman Domingo's great. So I've liked him in a lot of things. So.
Oh, people are really going after me.
Yeah. But no, I'm not convinced. It needs, like, why he's poor. I don't want to be poor, so I'll do a game show. There needs to be more to it.
No, I think there's more to that,
and more politically. The original novel has a lot more to it.
Yeah.
From what I'm told, I haven't read it, but
I mean, do you disagree with me about the original?
Yes, it's campy. It was fine. It's rooted in its time, but this is this is like if Marvel made The Running Man, this is it. And I'm not convinced by that.
But instead, it's Edgar Wright making The Running Man, and I don't know about.
I like
I
him.
wasn't a
I
big fan
feel
of the
like-
last one, but I did like Baby Driver, and I like the tone and the vibe of Baby Driver, and I'm thinking we're gonna see a bit of that in this.
It needs deeper layers. It really needs deeper layers.
Oh, and it is the trailer, so.
Hey, another trailer.
Oh no.
Did you even know this was coming out?
Uh,
From Marvel on Disney Plus is The Eyes of Wakanda. And what do you think the first thing that you're going to see? Is it executive producer Ryan Coogler? You would be right. Let's watch this quick teaser here.
there it is.
Wakanda is a kingdom of many secrets.
Well, that doesn't just
Wow.
gave us sort of the look, but I
That
have to
is
say,
total teaser.
yeah, I don't know. I don't care. I don't like. I don't know that there's anything on Disney Plus that is original programming that would get me to subscribe. Like my consumer brain, I pay for things. I pay for other services, but nothing on Disney Plus has shown me enough to subscribe. And also, one thing before you point it out, I'll say it, Alan. I know what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very diverse. No Asians.
I
No
didn't see a
Asians.
single Asian in that.
Not a single Asian in Eyes of Wakanda.
I'm almost certain I'll see a white person before I see an Asian person in that. The other thing is, okay, so now that you brought it up, I'm not black.
Right.
And I feel like if I were black, I don't know that I would be necessarily honored by the way they represent the characters, the body design, the character design. It's just, it doesn't feel, honoring is the word I'm going to use. I don't know. Who's designing this stuff? It just feels like it's going downhill.
Yeah, I'm not super impressed with the look of it. And what's so funny is if you look at the eyes of the characters, do they look Asian to you in a way?
I didn't notice.
I know they're not,
I didn't notice
but
that deeply.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying, and I know where you're going, but I don't think I really paid attention to it long enough to really to have caught me in any way.
Yeah, well, guess what? It's coming to Disney Plus. You decide whether you'll subscribe to watch it.
Yeah, and to respond to the chat, yes, I am not black.
I am happy to know that.
Okay.
Moving on. Mithrigan 2.0 or Megan 2.0 came out. They're already calling it a failure. And even Jason Blum, who I like Jason Blum a lot. Blumhouse, he's built up into this, horror house of horrors, putting out their branded horror films. And you know what? Some are good, some are bad. I generally have fun. I think one of the worst I saw was that one. There was the killer pool. That was bizarre. But he explains here, and Alan, I think you have the notes from the wrap. Jason Blum gets candid on why he thinks Megan 2.0 failed at the box office. Well, what does he have to say?
Sorry, I'm going over the notes. We gotta talk about how notes are are summarized. Let me read you what it says here. Jason Blum, founder and CEO of Blumhouse Productions, is reclaiming the narrative around Mithrigan 2.0, opting to get candid about why he thinks the sequel, which was previously tracking to open at 45 million, faltered at a weekend of just over 10 million. While appearing on The Town, he says that it came down to three basic factors: changing too much from the original, betting on a summer premiere when the first movie premiered in the fall, and then fast tracking the movie. We all thought Megan was like Superman. We could do anything to her. We could change genres. We could put her name in this. We could put her in the summer. We could make her look different. We could turn her from bad to good. We kind of classically overthought how powerful people's engagement was really with her.
What they're saying here is also we kind of classically overthought how powerful people's engagement are really with her, and they're describing it as a genre swap. You can race swap, you can gender swap, but what they did was a genre swap, and they're saying that might have been the thing that people didn't like.
I think it was the thing.
I think it's fine. Look at Alien was pure horror, the first Alien, directed by Ridley Scott. Then it was an action movie in Aliens as directed by James Cameron. Same thing. I mean, Terminator was more pure sci-fi, and then Terminator 2 was more action than sci-fi. So I don't know. I think you can genre swap, but one thing I do like is the lead actress. What's her name? Allison Williams.
Yeah, Allison Williams.
She took this so seriously, this role, dead serious, and she acted her ass off and was not a false note. So, I mean, the cast certainly did their best, but I think it got a little too goofy. I don't mind action, but it got goofy. Not that the first one wasn't goofy.
Right.
You could buy it. I don't know if there'll be a 3.0.
I don't know. I mean, if you go back to our review of it, these are the things I mentioned. And a lot of it was why I didn't really like this movie as much as the first one. The first movie was decidedly a horror movie.
Yes.
Created this AI robot who's could protect the mom, and then all of a sudden people started dying. A kid died, her boss dies. And in this one, they just okay. Look, when you make a sequel, it's because people liked the first movie.
Right.
But in this case, they thought that people liked the character and not the movie as a whole. The character was fine, but the character needed to continue to do what the character does. But in this case, they made her a good guy. They turned her from heel to a baby face. They changed the entire tone of the movie. So the suspenseful kills that happened in the first movie is non-existent in this movie. And then they just changed the overall tone and moving her in a direction way too fast. I think you could have ultimately made her a good guy, a baby face, but I don't think you could have done it immediately after into the second movie. Maybe go down the road, because you certainly have seen that where you have villains, they have sequels, and then eventually they become good, or eventually we begin to feel sympathetic toward them. And this was just the wrong thing. And then there's a bit of the marketing news. Yeah, it came out in the fall versus in the summer. And
why was this not Halloween, October?
Yeah.
Save it for October, maybe late September.
Well,
that's
because it's no longer a horror film. That's the other
you're
thing.
right. You're right.
But here's the thing. This is something I appreciate from Jason Blum that no other studio executive is willing to do. And that's to reflect and say why their movie failed. And to just lay it out there. Yeah, we made mistakes. And those mistakes hurt us in the end. I would like to see Kevin Feige do that. I would like to see Kathleen Kennedy do that. I would like to see Bob Iger do that. Just come clean and say, we made mistakes. Here are the mistakes. And here's how we're not going to make those mistakes again. Because reading this, I would, if a Megan 3.0 comes again, I will see Megan 3.0, because at least I know the guy in charge realized the mistakes made in 2.0.
Precisely. He's doing something Kathleen Kennedy cannot admit failure. And that's why I like Jason Blum. I've seen interviews with him. I've seen him talk at CinemaCon. I think he's very self-aware, cares what he does, but not every movie's going to be a home run. You're going to get a double. You're going to strike out on base. That's the way it is. You make so many movies. I like the Blumhouse brand. I like, it's like, I feel like I'm in good hands, and not all the movies are good. And that's the game. That's the way it is.
Yeah. But
we
they,
have-
again, recognized it. When you recognize the mistakes you made, that gives you more confidence that they're going to not make the same mistake the next time. And that's all we ask.
We will get to all your comments regarding these news stories before we switch to Superman. So we have a lot of non-Superman stories, but we have a lot of Superman stories to get to. We get what? Is there a damn ad on this?
On what?
The hell? You hear that?
No.
Okay, that's weird. All right, that's weird. Can you hear me now? It's fine.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, man. I heard a weird dumb ad. Hey, I'm saying we'll get to your comments after all these news stories. Then we'll switch to Superman. We have a lot of non-Superman related stories, and then a whole bunch for Superman, which is on our thumb. We'll keep our promise there for sure. Hey, Pixar, Elio just came out. You gave it. I mean, I've called it the worst movie Pixar has ever made. Elio, clearly made by less talented group of people at Pixar. And now it can be revealed. The movie was queer coded. You have the notes for this story, Alan. I'll bring it up from the Hollywood Reporter's Heat Vision column. I guess they spoke to the editor, and the America Ferrera left the project. Actress, she was the original voice of the aunt. The director changed, and erasure of queer themes. Hey, I wonder why Pixar executives were kind of a little skittish about gay themes in their movie for children about an 11-year-old. Alan, if you would read what's in this story.
Sure. Okay, so I'm just going over notes here. So the original Elio was originally directed by Adrian Molina, the co-director of Coco. Was envisioned as a queer-coded, emotionally rich sci-fi story. Elio...
Pause for a second.
Yeah.
Queer-coded means it's not blatantly gay. Right. It's just underneath the surface, and gay people will recognize that's a gay character. But if the audience is not paying attention, they can see the movie and be fine with it, I guess. I don't know. Please continue. And I know a lot about that.
Okay.
I want to talk about it.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I got to go back to the article here. So among the moments cited as favorite by those at the animation studio at the time include a sequence in which the titular boy, Elio, collected trash on the beach and turned it into homemade apparel that included a pink tank top. The movie's team would refer to Elio showing off to a hermit crab as his trashin' show. Let me see. It then mentions that Elio was initially portrayed as a queer-coded character, reflecting original director Adrian Molina's identity as an openly gay filmmaker. Other sources say that Molina did not intend the film to be a coming-out story, as the character is 11 years old. But either way, this characterization gradually faded away throughout the production process as Elio became more masculine following feedback from leadership. Gone were not only such direct examples for his passion for environmentalism and fashion, but also seen in Elio's bedroom with pictures suggesting a male crush. Hints at the trash fashion remains released in the film, with the boy wearing a cape decorated with discarded cutlery and soda can tabs, although without any explanation for the attire. And then it just goes into the downfall of the opening weekend, and also the fact that Pete Docter had taken Molina off the project and replaced him with the Turning Red co-directors. And so, to me, this was it falls in line with what happened with Inside Out 2, where Pete Docter just said, we're not having any gay themes. We're not going to have anything remotely gay coming out of Inside Out 2. And it appears that they tried to do it with this one to disastrous results. One is the highest grossing animated film ever, and the other is the worst disaster of Pixar.
The executives at Pixar tried to do their jobs as they are beholden to profits and their shareholders. They did their job. What they have not done is gotten the activists out of their company. They need to get rid of the activists. It might involve firing some people who aren't willing to be on team profits. Okay? And maybe the entire industry needs to look at this. I actually have no problem with the original version of this project, Elio, being as maybe even more gay. Remember years ago, you and I talked about Disney should just start a brand called Disney Sparkle. What is Disney Sparkle? Disney Sparkle is a sub-brand within Disney, and it's all gay. Gay cartoons, gay shows, gay dramas, gay sitcoms, gay movies. Do it all gay all the time. Disney Sparkle. But you scale the budget to that audience. And I think what people are finding, that audience is a small fraction of the mainstream. And there's no problem making the original version of what Elio is, put it out, have a budget of under 10 million, make it direct to video or direct to VOD, and just do that. The problem is gay is not mainstream, as we've discovered this month with corporations not changing their logos to rainbows this month. You know, Pride 2025 is very different from a year ago and 2 years ago. And I have no problem with all. I've been going to Sundance and film festivals for years. I've seen some great gay themed films that appeal not only to gays, but everyone. But they're not really about that now. A lot of the gay content now is very agenda driven. Very agenda driven. And I have no problem with it existing within the framework of what the market is willing to pay. What is the overall market? And when they did a test screening of this in Arizona, and they asked the audience that saw it, they said they liked the movie. Would you pay to see this in a theater? Not one person raised their hand. The whole fashion show, they sort of coded that Elio was gay. He wore a pink tank top for his trashin' show. He had a poster of a boy he might like on his wall. I mean, effectively, one of the story arcs of a character in Elio as it's complete is kind of a trance story in a way. He has to change into that suit.
Yeah.
It's weird. There's a lot of stuff that still exists that is underneath the surface. But what Pixar needs to do is spin off a division, and you might get a smaller budget. And really, the content, the intended audience needs to be reflected with what the marketplace actually is. And I think that people are overestimating the desire for gay content in the marketplace. It's just a fact. And it comes from me, who I grew up watching Rocky Horror Picture Show in high school, went to see that. That's not gay coded. That's really gay. I love seeing every John Waters movie when it came out, but John Waters even was smart enough to go, this movie's not just for gay people. It's also, you like exploitation movies and violence and comedy. John Waters, I think, is probably the most mainstream gay filmmaker that's very prolific. And I love John Waters to this day. He's an inspiration. But the current crop of gay filmmakers and creatives are activists, they're not trying to make something that has a message that can appeal broadly. I mean, look at the movie Hairspray. That might have some gay stuff in it. Very popular film,
Yeah.
Also, Broadway.
Wide reaching.
Yeah, look, I'm done with my rant, but I'd love to hear what you have to say, and then we'll go to comment.
Yeah.
I one
Well,
more.
it's
more
interesting
stories
because this whole idea of Disney Sparkle, Disney actually has something similar. It's called Disney Onyx. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No, I have not.
But it's Disney's attempt at creating black content, black films, TV shows, and so on. And they've done about a half a dozen projects. You probably haven't seen them because, well, they're black projects and they're probably meant for a black audience. But that's, it's not like that they didn't take an idea like Disney Sparkle and say that this is, we're just being crazy by mentioning it. No, they've done it with Disney Onyx. Here's the other thing about this story, and as it relates to the D-Files that we brought out last year. I'll read a paragraph here. From one of the production, from an assistant editor. I was deeply saddened and aggrieved by the changes that were made, as she mentions in the LGBT group Pix Pride, which is their internal server. Although she praises Seraphin and she as filmmakers, she notes that a number of creatives working on the film stepped down after the director shared their first cut of the movie. The exodus of talent after that cut was really indicative of how unhappy a lot of people were that they had changed and destroyed this beautiful work. Another Pixar source disputes that people stepped down because it was a response to Molina's departure. Changes to Elio were clear from one former Pixar artist who worked on the film and asked to remain anonymous. It was pretty clear through the production that the first version of the film that the studio leaders saw were constantly sanding down those moments in a film that alluded to Elio's sexuality of being queer. The reason I bring that up is, first of all, look at this picture here. So what they did with Elio was basically said, okay, let's get rid of the pink, make it green. But you could see that pretty much everything else felt like it stayed the same. In fact, when you look at all the aliens, I guess the best way to describe the aliens in this movie is Unicorn Parade.
Yes, Unicorn Parade. Oh my God.
Yeah, and what happened here was the queer coding. It was so ingrained in this movie that even though you changed the main character and made him look more masculine, you couldn't escape the queer coding. And that's what ultimately led to, I believe, its downfall. Because, we've talked about it. It's not just the rule of thirds, but it was the character designs. The fact that none of these characters had any utility. They were all just pretty much made to look beautiful, look curvy, look wavy. They're all made with wavy lines, the little pink candy hair. Again, we call it a unicorn parade.
We'll get to your comments in a moment. What I want to do is get to two more news stories, and then we'll be all Superman, I promise. But Rachel Zegler is back. She returns to Broadway. That's right. A video has hit social media with Rachel Zegler at the Evita curtain call. And I think we really need to take a look at this, Alan.
Okay.
And then we will comment on it. It's a very short clip. Let's take a look. You see, surrounded by a bunch of naked men, it looks like.
Yeah, because
one guy
part of
practically
Evita.
naked.
I don't remember these men in Evita.
Yeah, this looks like a very gay version of Evita. Am I wrong? I mean, it is a Broadway play.
Well, yeah, it's Broadway, so.
She stays on to get the to herself there as she walks off stage. Wow, well, there you go, Alan. What are your thoughts?
I don't think she's learning the right lessons.
Oh my God! Now I realize I can't really see these comments. We can't show these comments. Good for her if it's making money. She's found her audience.
Yeah, she's found her community, and I'm happy for her about that. I'm not a part of that community, even though I like a lot of things coming out of that community. I am not part of it.
But I think that she would be more, her outspokenness on political issues would be more tolerated on Broadway, whereas Hollywood, I don't think she will ever be in a big budget Hollywood movie again. She may be in a smaller film, an indie film. I don't think any studio is taking a chance on her ever again, especially the way, after Snow White and West Side Story. I think she's done. She's done.
Yeah. And like I said, I think the reason she won't be back in Hollywood for a very long time is she's not learning the right lessons. You know, she's just leaning into her activism, which I guess is good for her and the people she's around, but not for everyone else. And you know, it would almost have been better had Snow White never come out. She then could have just said everything she said and then starred in Evita, and nobody would have cared except the Broadway community, which falls right in line with her politics, which is great. Good for her. She's found her home. I mean, that's the best you can ask for a person.
One last news story before we get to Superman. Pedro Pascal on the Fantastic Four First Steps. He's been on the press tour for Materialists, and this clip was discovered by our own Atomic Lori. We're just going to watch this clip, and we'll talk about it on the other side. Here we go.
The only way to understand the character was to not sort of like fake it.
You're late.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? You're late for dinner.
Yes, we are.
You late?
I just said that.
Are you pregnant?
What? You're gonna be the best mom in the world, and you are gonna be the best dad. Just kidding. You are out of
Look
your
at his face.
Been a dream to join the MCU, and I think that to be invited into a family and to also just kind of step into what is an ensemble. The movie is called The Fantastic Four, and I pride myself on kind of being, I don't know, the funny guy on set. And I have to tell you, if there is a competition of who's funniest, who is smartest, and who is the most talented, I'm number 4. And I'm not even being modest here. I have never been around how dare they? I've never been around such talented fuckers in my life. Joe is astonishing to me. Eben is one of the funniest. Eben to me is a writer in the way that his mind works and the zingers that just come out in conversation. And Vanessa Kirby is a force of nature. And she was a leader for me in terms of getting into material like this and making it and elevating it as much as we could and making our relationship as real as it could possibly be. I have no idea what they'll end up using, but what she and I put into it was really a marriage story for us in the most human way, keeping a family together, starting to expand on that family, the fear of that.
Are you the protectors of this world?
Yes, we are.
Your planet is now marked for death.
I'll confess, I didn't come at it with any sort of attempt at distinguishing it from previous authorships. I need all of the context and all of the information to kind of like, it's silly to use a word spiritually, but to spiritually kind of like enter into an experience, because I can't compartmentalize. I need all of it to be, it's all happened. It's all been seen and done before by many. And so I want it to all kind of like be living in my like imagination.
It's my fault. I stretched the bounds of space. And they hurt.
Are we safe?
I don't know. Again, Coco Ulrich did my hair, slicked it, nailed it. Not a wig. My hair. Come on, Galactus.
It has to be us.
I did all my stretching for real. I credit the visionaries, costume designers, the production design, our DP, and then be held ultimately by the vision that Matt Shackman, our director, has for the telling of the story, and the way that Kevin Feige has always hoped for the Fantastic Four to be seen. That is so much of the work, because clearly the world is so unique and distinguished in its aesthetic. The theater of that is something to step into. I don't know if I do it well, but they had to keep on pulling me back from a very mid-Atlantic, early 60s kind of like talk. They had a dialect coach that was sort of going to help us into that kind of dialect. And I took to it so well that they had to pull, they were like, we actually, because I was like, well, welcome to the family, July 25th, summer 20, and they were like, talk more like yourself. And I had a hard time doing that because I was so into the era, which for me was something to step into rather than so that it's different than what we've seen before. I mean, I think that what they've created is something.
This is almost over, right?
We will protect you.
I've had enough.
Oh
I'll say a couple things. Look, I'll say a couple things. One, I think Pedro Pascal is a really good actor because he's playing a straight married man. And that's something I'm not sure that, I don't know if he's ever been married, but there are definitely rumors about him that I think he himself helped perpetuate. But he's on the press tour. He's a team player. But I also one last thing, I want to hear your comments. I don't think he knows that he's not really. People are kind of over him. I think he's a team player.
He said it. He's glad to be in everything.
There are two jobs: the job making the movie and the job selling the movie. I don't know if the movie part that they made remains to be seen, but he's given it his all, and he is very modest. I like most of what he had to say there, and I'm sure at some point he'll say something. I mean, he was joking, and people do get hired in Hollywood because they're well liked. I don't know.
They're easy to work on set. They're easy to get along with.
Team players showing up on time. Being early is on time, and that's half the job. That's a quote from Bill Maher talked about what it takes to be in Hollywood. Yeah, be on time because most people are not. But anyways, Alan, your thoughts, and then we'll go to comments. We got to move.
You know what I love about that whole thing?
Please,
because he goes on and on about all the things he did to prepare for the role of Reed Richards. And it was a very long list. But guess what? The one thing that's not on that list was read a Fantastic Four comic book.
Yeah, that reading a Fantastic Four comic is recommended if you're making a Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, it just felt like he went out of his way to say everything else he did, but that to give any kind of honor to the actual character, the actual comic book series, one of the longest running comic series of Marvel Comics, and to not even mention it. Then the other thing was he talked about what a great privilege it is to finally be part of the MCU. Do you remember the other thing he ruined? The DCU when he was in Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Can someone needs to go to the big studios and say, we need to reconceptualize our marketing campaigns. We need to maybe take a step back and just focus on a trailer, and let's stop having our actors do press tours. As much as we'd love to see them play games with Jimmy Fallon, it's probably best we just let the movie speak for itself, because I cannot think of a certain interview or featurette that made me want to see either Fantastic Four or Superman.
Let's go to comments. We got to move the show along here, so let's get to that.
Okay, Aryan 69 for 96 for 40. Way too many numbers. Chris kind of talks like mathematician Eric Weinstein.
I met Eric Weinstein once.
Is his brother Brett?
Correct.
Okay.
I met Eric.
Yeah. Aryan for 40 with those thick eyebrows. Alan looks Japanese. Krogbase for 50 Swedish krona. Does weirdo Barbara Broccoli hate her dad and his Bond legacy because he had prima nocta on the babies in the film? Talk about Electra Complex. Wow, that is a comment that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. We hadn't even talked about James Bond today, but that's
all right. Brandon Jolie for $4.99. I just wanted to bring up earlier in the show when Chris said the eyes of Wakanda characters' eyes looked Asian and the awkward silence that followed.
We'll make a clip.
Yeah. Day Trippers for 100 Argentinian pesos. Argentinian here. Eka Perón was white, not brown. Eva Perón. Eka Perón?
Eva Perón, I think.
Yeah. ADLS 24. Gay all day. Disney Sparkle founder Chris Gore.
That's right.
Patrick Lemire. Kudos to Bloom. We made mistakes. Instead of the audience was to ist. We were review bombed.
Yeah. Good on Jason Blum.
Yes. Over on Rumble, Matt G. Hammond for 2. Richard Dawson was also the host of the family. I know that. Like Steve Harvey is now. Patrick, you're right, is somewhat like James Gunn. I kind of trust him based on past performance, not a look at me as Gunn.
Yeah.
D. Goodhart, I think Running Man looks pretty interesting, and I'm sure I'll see it. From what I've heard, it's supposed to be closer to the book, though I've never read the book. That is our understanding as well. MK Solid 82, the original movie inspired the Smash TV arcade game. This inspired DEI, LOL. I
like Smash TV. I didn't know that Running Man was influenced by that.
Oh, I made that connection very early on.
Hey, Superman is coming. There is a mountain of marketing behind it. There are videos on TikTok and Instagram. Every actor is doing short videos. They're actually some of them very entertaining. James Gunn is pushing it. It is all over social media. I have not seen a social media campaign with this much original content. I can't remember in recent memory. And we're going to go through a lot of it. First up, Superman takes London. You believe this, Alan?
No, I don't believe it. London.
Yeah. Well, let me show you here. This is it's from the Shard London. Superman certainly made London look up, taking over 2,000 man hours, 4 months, and a team of over 20 people working around the clock to create the 11-foot, 120-kilogram sculpture visible up to 40 miles away and suspended over 300 meters above ground within the Shard's iconic spire. Let's take a look at this. You ready, Alan?
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
He's Superman suspended between two buildings, or the spire of these buildings.
Yeah. I don't know why we have a helicopter there.
Yeah. Oh, and there's the cast looking up at it. Is it inflatable? What is it?
Did you find out how big it was? Where it is?
This is what I mean. Like, what other movie does this? It looks like some giant. Well, there you go. I mean, it's funny. The helicopter was the Daily Planet said on that. I don't know. I'm getting confused with some of these because some of these promotions, like, is it somewhere AI? Like that sort of AI, not AI generated, but that augmented reality where something's really not there. We use a filter and then it's there. Some of it is. But I don't know. I mean, it's impressive. It's impressive.
Yeah.
So
I hope they didn't spend a lot of money on it. I've always questioned the return on investment. You know, is
I mean,
it going
this-
to get enough buzz to justify the cost of having done it?
Exactly. Now, this one is real. It's not one of those augmented reality, and there's a lot more. So let me get to some of these others. Why does no one? Why, Alan? I want you to explain this to me. Why no one recognizes Superman with his glasses? Like what? So you got his glasses, he's Clark Kent, no glasses. Well, I don't get it, Alan. What's your explanation?
It's simple. It's a disguise. He's Superman. He doesn't need glasses, but he has to wear them or people will figure out who he is. Simple as that. It's just brilliant makeup work.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure about that, but I think, I mean, you know, it's almost like a goofy, funny thing. But there's a let me share this from X. It's James Gunn talking about this. It's a short clip. It's worth seeing. I mean, there is some suspension of disbelief, you know, with any superhero story. But let's see what he has to say here.
No glasses. Oh my God, that was what a great explanation.
That's canon in the comics.
Is it? I didn't know that. I think you came up with
it's kind of been forgotten, but that's from the comics. And I was sitting with Tom King, the comic book writer, which everyone at comicbook.com probably knows. And I was like, you know, the thing that I just don't really know how to reconcile in myself is the glasses, because the glasses have always bothered me. As a kid, they bothered me because I don't have that much suspension of disbelief to believe that, you know, they're two different people. Even though I think out of all the actors that have played Superman, Corn Sweat looks the most different as Clark Kent to Superman. Even more
he just answered his question.
But he said, you know, there's an answer for that in the comics. It's canon that they're hypno glasses, that they hypnotize people.
Another thing that
they're hypno glasses. Did you get that, Alan?
Yeah, I got that.
Do you buy that?
No.
Yeah. I'm uncertain.
Yeah.
I'm uncertain.
People look different that way. You change your hairstyle, you look different. It's
well, I mean, there is something that would hypnotize you that actually does work. And
sorry, what?
Does Lois Lane have hypno cleavage?
Yes, she does.
I think this has the same effect as those glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Who among us has not looked down? They say look up. Maybe you got caught looking down. I feel like that's the big explanation right there that no one talks about.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to you.
Fair. That's fair. Hey, if there's a new superhero movie, there's going to be new superhero toys. And Hot Toys are among the best. The best. So here is a reveal of the Hot Toys. Here, it's a 2-minute video here. Let's watch this.
By the way, everyone before doing this, watch the Fantastic Four toy reveal that we went through.
That didn't go so well. That didn't go so well.
All right, let's see this one.
But this I have not seen this, so we'll react to this together. But I want to see. This is Brandon Davis. I assume he got invited to the junket. By the way, do you find it funny, Alan? You and I have not been invited to. We didn't get invited to Jurassic World Rebirth. No, we were not invited to any Superman. We might be off the list.
I think so. I mean, I hate to say it. I hate to say it when I compare our views to their views of people who go on these junkets.
They're not getting a lot of views.
I know. How many views on this one?
I don't know. 27,000. That's respect.
No, that's a respect.
But I'm just saying we're not. I don't see us. But who cares? Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Let's. We're not doing this to get invited to the. You know, sometimes we do. Sometimes we're off the list. I understand why, but let's watch this.
You know I'm a big collector.
Yeah.
And I love Sideshow and Hot Toys stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
actually pulled off what I think was like the impossible I'd never be able to do. Hot Toys sent the prototype of Superman so I could show it to you. But
Oh my
this is like the
God.
first
Wow, look at this.
the only one of these in the world right now.
Whoa.
And this is probably the highest detailed version you'll ever see of yourself as an action figure, David. And I got them to send it from Hong Kong so we could show it to you.
What?
And
This is amazing.
what is it like to like see yourself in all of these figures in like a form like this?
I mean, I don't really see myself in that. That's Superman. That's not me.
What a cool answer.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see the suit in that miniature figure with so much detail because it's such an amazing suit at scale to see it scaled down like that, but with still so much detail and accuracy. I mean,
It's beautiful.
really
the way the
cool.
cape's flowing as well. And little
hair's
crypto.
not bad either.
Crypto's here
Look
too.
at those cheekbones.
Well,
Wow.
well, we're gonna make sure that
Nice.
Sideshow and Hot Toys get one sent to you as soon as there's more than one in existence.
Oh wow, yeah, cool.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Wow,
only giving us
look
a
at
brief
that.
glimpse.
That's so cool.
And
Wow.
Crypto, which
And
is based on
Crypto.
your dog.
I know. It's so weird. I said to David the other day, we were in the Philippines, and I'm like, is it weird because you're on every bus here? And is it weird driving around and seeing your face on everything? And he was like, oh, yeah, it's weird. It's weird. And I said, because it's weird seeing my dog everywhere. Like, also, he's the worst
There you
dog
go.
I've ever had. I've had so many good dogs in my life, and the one that is, going to be remembered forever is the one that's the absolute worst dog I've ever had.
Look at the
Wow.
light on the eyes.
Seriously, that's incredible.
So amazing.
The eyes are amazing.
Neat.
Really cool.
That's beautiful.
So
Thank you guys so
cool.
much.
Thank you for bringing that.
I will say the interaction with the cast has been great. I think the actual cast themselves, I think, have been really, really great.
Yeah, you definitely get the sense that it was they liked working with each other.
They like each other.
Yeah.
They had a good time making the movie. Here's the funny thing. That doesn't always result in the best movie. Sometimes you hear it was a disaster. This person hated so-and-so. This won't talk to so-and-so. They will never work together again. In fact, some of the greatest movies you've seen throughout film history, the behind the scenes of making it was a mess.
Yeah. Well, think of the Christian Bale blow up.
Yeah.
It's like
also that movie didn't turn out so good either.
that's true, but
yeah, it's I don't know. Look, that's the best I think I've seen James Gunn. He's all excited about the toys. Who would not be? About you made a movie. They made toys based on the characters in the movie, and you got to see them. So I don't know. And will they do a Barbie version? They've done Barbie versions of fictional characters like
Yes.
Barbie, Star Trek, like
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz, stuff like that. They'll probably do that at some point. They'll probably do it.
Hasn't there been a Superman Barbie?
I
would
Google
think
it now.
All
I am gonna guess it exists. Go ahead, find
Yeah.
it.
Did Mattel's Barbie make a Superman doll? Let's see. Here we go.
It's Alan. It's 2 seconds. Look up Google Images. That's what you do. I'm
Yeah,
sure
but you don't
they will.
always get the one you're looking for. You'll just get some kind of a action figure.
All right. Well, let me know when you find it. I know it exists. Hey, a look into Superman. This is from CBS. We'll show as much of this. We'll kind of go through it. It's a look into Superman. I believe this was CBS Sunday morning or something. I don't know if I have the right thing here. So let's see. Oh, there's an ad. So here you go. This where's the actual thing? Let's see this, Alan.
Harry's.
I'm getting a lot of ads. Is there another way to watch this?
No, you're doing
Okay.
CBS. They want their money.
Oh, Okay, let's find this another way so I can actually watch it. We can actually watch it. We'll do something else. That was great. Insurance ads. That's awesome. That's awesome. We might have to do that another time. Well, let's talk about this. Jurassic World Rebirth is coming out. And the actors are on the press tour. Not that exciting. But this was kind of funny. Check this out. It's a dad joke off with Jonathan Bailey and Rupert Friend reading dad jokes together. And this is on X. I love dad jokes. Okay. So we're going to go through this because everything I've heard about Jurassic World Rebirth, and you and I are both seeing it tonight.
Yes.
Not sure it's going to be all that great, but let's take a look at this right now.
Why don't dinosaurs make good pets? Because they're all dead.
That was phenomenally delivered. I named my horse Mayo. Rupert. Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise? Oh, God.
Oh, no.
I don't know if I can
Two
handle this.
antennas.
They must have been drinking before this.
It was okay. But it's not a joke. It was okay. Two antennas got married. It was okay. But the reception was incredible.
Wow.
I like that one a lot. That's very, very good.
The bouncer says, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Why?
Exactly. Why?
Why me?
The bouncer says, I don't know who you are, but this is my trampoline.
Yeah, laughter in the punchline.
I'm at the airport, Rupert.
Oh, yeah?
There's a woman completely passed out on the baggage carousel.
Oh, no.
Oh, she's slowly coming around now.
Oh, my God.
How does an Englishman invite a dinosaur for lunch?
I don't know.
Tea, Rex?
That sounds like one you would have written. I don't know why you care about your phone spying on you. Your vacuum cleaner's been gathering dirt for years. That's really bad.
Can you
These
do
are
3
not.
items in a row?
There's. Look,
How much longer is this?
there is such a thing. There's such
Johnny,
a thing as funny dad jokes. These are not. Am I wrong?
No, yeah. I mean, I would imagine there are better dad jokes than these. Like by a mile, by a country mile.
I think we may have to just, I don't know, blow pat. Let's finish it. Oh my God.
I don't know if you heard about her.
We're only halfway
Minute
through.
and a half of it.
What does the chat say? Do we want to keep watching this? Oh my God. This is not good.
Did you? Okay.
I feel like that's what I'll be saying about the movie on Friday.
Okay. Keep playing.
The movie is better than the dad jokes at the junket.
Spies who planted tiny microphones inside a tube of polos.
Go on.
They were informants.
Very good.
They were informants.
These are, you know what the problem is with these? They are British dad jokes.
Yeah. And then they're laughing in the middle of reading the punchline.
I'm killing it. I don't care.
Yeah. Okay, here. I got something better here.
What?
I'll show you in just here we go. There it is. There's the Brandon Routh Ken Superman doll.
I told you it existed. That would have been better, like another thing. Yeah. All right. Hey, let's take a look at this CBS look into Superman. We're going to look at it here. Atomic Lori is going to share it in the browser. We're going to watch part of it. So it's coming up. Let's take a look. This is a whole segment. So let's watch this. Hit audio here.
A finished visual effect.
Inside an edit room in Burbank.
We just got some of the visual effects. This is actually not a finished visual effect shot.
James Gunn reviews a scene from what Warner Brothers hopes is a summer blockbuster. Superman and its reported budget, at least 200.
Can you better center this?
Arrives in theaters
Pause
July
for a sec.
11th.
Pause. There's a button to the lower right that pops up that goes full
It's
screen.
that broken rectangle. That's it.
Yes, there you go. All right, continue pushing play. I'll tell you where it's pause.
It's the first feature from DC Studios, a division of Warner Brothers.
And then slapping the side of the thing.
Gunn is not only the film's director, he wrote the screenplay,
We just push into him a little bit.
and he's DC's CEO.
How you feeling about everything?
I feel good about the movie, and I'm excited about that. And I think we've done something that's different.
Among those differences,
My Superman's not indestructible. We see him bleed immediately. At times, I've thought he's too strong. You don't want him to be able to punch a planet in half, or for that matter, go around a planet a billion times and make time go backwards. You know, I wanted a Superman who was a little bit more down to earth.
Pause it. Pause it. That was not about spinning the world behind. That was about Superman in the 1978. It was about him saving Lois Lane, defying his father to save the woman he loves. Kind of broke the rules. That was one of the greatest moments in Superman at the movies. Anyways, please continue.
Yeah, he broke a lot of rules, including the one about physics. Keep going.
and few things are more down to earth
Crypto!
than a dog.
What the hey, dude? I thought you destroyed the whole Superman robots. I thought I told you to keep an eye on him.
We feed the canine, but he is unruly. You've added another thing here, which is instantly relatable to, I imagine, just about every American. He gave him a dog.
I mean, the dog is the whole reason was the start of the movie for me.
Really?
1000%. I adopted a dog. His name is Ozu.
Really?
And he didn't want to be touched. He had never known human beings. He chewed up all our furniture. He was, chasing the cat and just being the worst dog you can imagine.
Ow, stop it. Crypto, ow, stop it, stop, sit.
I thought, wow, what if this terrible dog had superpowers? I'd really be screwed.
The first Superman feature film came in 1951 with George Reeves, who later played the role on TV. This century, Superman's been played by Brandon Routh and Henry Cavill. But in the last 75 years, only one big screen Superman has fully captured the audience's imagination.
Excuse me.
Christopher Reeve. Trained in the theater, Reeve was a graduate of the Juilliard School in New York, as is the new Superman, David Corenswet.
I don't think there's any way or reason to try to sort of live up to Christopher Reeve. I just feel grateful to get to play that character that he embodied and put into the public consciousness in such a positive
Pause for a
strong
sec.
way.
David Cornsweet is the best part of the PR for this movie.
Mhm.
He should be front and center for all the PR. Everything he said has been spot on. Continue, please.
Corenswet is 31, 7 years older than Reeve when he made his debut in 1978. We met Corenswet at the Arden Theater in Philadelphia.
The last play I did here was Our Town.
It's Corenswet's hometown, where he still lives, and it's here at the Arden where he landed his first paid gig.
And this is the theater that I did my first professional play in when I was 9 years old.
Is that this?
Yeah, this is
All My Sons?
All My Sons by Arthur Miller. So these are my scenes with my lines highlighted.
He wanted to read from his original script.
You're finally up.
Where's Tommy? Oh, sorry. I'd be very good. I'd like to point out, I wasn't given time to prepare.
I love this play.
Corenswet, like his Superman, is immediately disarming.
Yeah.
As well as vulnerable,
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
as in this scene with his girlfriend, reporter Lois Lane,
Miss Lane.
played by Rachel Brosnahan.
People were going to die.
He is definitively different from everybody else on Earth. He is not human. He's an alien, and he has these powers that nobody else has. And at the same time, he wants desperately to be a part of humanity. So ultimately, the dramatic stakes of Superman as a character is that he is lonely and he doesn't want to be.
He also has a sense of humor about those red shorts.
Without the trunks, the uniform can look very military. So he puts the red underwear on, A, so that everybody can see him. Against the blue sky, you can see the red trunks. B, so that everybody knows he doesn't take himself too seriously. He's not trying to look cool. I wear my trunks on the outside of my pants, like it's liberating. Now that doesn't in any way undermine how badass and cool he is when he's up in the sky fighting the bad guys. But once he touches down, he wants to be the one that people can laugh at or make fun of because he can take it.
Superman has been saving the world
Pause
for
for a
nearly
sec.
9.
Pause. I think you and I, when we go see the movie, Alan, should wear our red underwear on the outside of our pants. I have some red underwear. Would you be willing to do it?
I think the quick answer is no.
Let's
encourage you.
I'll do a video. I'll do a video for members only.
Please do.
Let's let the chat decide. Do a poll. Should we wear red underwear to see Superman next Tuesday? All right, continue the video. It's almost over, and we have
my daughter.
It's almost over. I have a lot to say. But go on.
Created by
we have a
Jerry
guest
Siegel and drawn by Joe Shuster, he first appeared in a comic in 1938. Is Superman the signature American movie character?
I think he's bigger than that. I think
Critic and filmmaker Elvis Mitchell.
Spider-Man is torture. He has to support himself and his aunt, and he's responsible for the death of his uncle. And Batman's responsible for the death of everybody in his line of sight. They're all sufferers, but Superman, he stands tall, and there's a pride of authorship literally in the character because he's creating his own narrative as his alter ego. People want to see that. They want to believe that you can create your own narrative in a way that is benevolent, even if you have all the power in the world. It's wrong of you to turn away from people who need your help.
You gotta go, man!
Otis.
James Gunn wants people to see Superman fighting for truth, justice, and, well, the rest of it.
Hey, buddy, eyes up here.
What do you want audiences around the world to take away from your Superman?
I think just culturally being able to place a little bit more importance on being a good human being.
Be kind to each other.
I think we're surrounded by a lot of meanness. I think Superman's surrounded by a lot of meanness in the movie, but he stands against that grain. And that's what makes him rebellious. And in a way, I think today, in today's world, Superman's the edgier, more rebellious character because he's the one who's standing up for the values that most people are not.
Pause. That's
a good statement.
That's a good statement, but I wonder if it will work. Like, everyone on social media is a horrible person. I'm going to try to be good and kind and virtuous. And that's kind of.
Well, you're talking to a guy who got canceled on social media.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah,
I mean, I have more faith in James Gunn doing that than any other director.
Yeah.
Superman is embracing the challenge, fully aware that success could mean Superman defines his career.
When you take a role that's going to be this visible and this iconic, even just visually iconic, and it's your face and the underwear, and I wanted to be prepared for the possibility that it wouldn't lead to a bunch of other things, that this would be the thing. And I felt really lucky that when I asked myself that question, the answer came back. Somebody's got to play this part. And if you're the person to...
Well, what do you
people
think,
wonder why
Alan?
we hate Fantastic Four?
Well, look, I would say that the worst part of the PR for this is it has been James Gunn putting himself front and center. When David Cornsweet is at front and center, it's very fun. It looks like it could be fun. I think it will be a very different Superman. We will know on Tuesday. Tuesday night, we will do Film Threat After Dark. We're going live. We are not invited to a press screening. We are just seeing it early because of everyone was able to buy tickets. Amazon early access. We'll let you know next week. And then we'll give our full review. Alan, what are your final thoughts? And we'll go to comments.
Yeah, I mean Henry Cavill. Who? I mean, it's
Well,
yeah.
I like Henry Cavill also. The thing is, you can like multiple. We can sit here and rank different Supermans. We could do this with Batman, right? They're different,
Yeah.
but
I'm probably gonna get murdered for that comment too.
the thing is, you can equally like. It's almost like different runs of a comic. Some are more serious, some are more lighthearted, some are dark, and they're like different flavors of ice cream. I like ice cream, but maybe this one or whatever. Like, I'm curious to see what James Gunn has cooked up. It doesn't look derivative, and if anything, it looks more influenced by the comics and pieces of Superman movies. We're gonna go to comments.
Yeah,
And let's
all I can say is I wish I could see this movie without having seen everything leading up to it.
Yeah, it's
I
almost
wish
like it's almost like all the PR. It's like I just want to see the movie. I was already sold. They're overselling the movie, which worries me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna go see Superman just to find out the scenes I didn't see in the trailers.
That's a problem.
Yeah, I know.
Let's
I
go.
hope
to
people are right
comments.
in that we've seen very little of it, but I feel like I've seen too much of it.
Let's go to comments.
All right. Berg Flicka 2740 gifted 5 Filmtime memberships. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Oh, and we have our interview subject will be joining right after we read these comments.
All right. Steve Z09 for 20. People are so ignorant. Really? Yes. Pedro's family literally immigrated from Europe to Chile. Not everyone born in Latin American countries are mestizo. A Mexican is a nationality, not a race. The word ethnic doesn't mean brown. I could tell you how. Yeah, you're right.
I
wish
just
people would straighten this out.
I think everyone is tired of victimhood as it applies to race. You know what? Work hard. Anyone can succeed.
Well, it's the tribalism too.
If
I mean,
this country is built on anything, it's that anyone can succeed with hard work. That's it.
Yep. 200-watt Studio 8 for 5. Guys, Superman is so fun. Best superhero movie since The Dark Knight. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait. 200-watt. If you saw it.
Yeah. You must be a media influencer. Michael Steele 9010 for 10 Canadian. I saw it today. It's Jurassic World as expected.
Well, I'm seeing it. I can't wait for the popcorn.
Yes, and 200-watt Studio also says, I have to say that or I will not get invited anymore.
Ha!
Super Friend Demand for 249 euros. Please give spoilers on Jurassic World regurgitation.
We'll talk Jurassic World Rebirth on Friday.
Right. Almanac 520 for 499. Just watched Jurassic World Rebirth. Really disappointing. Characters made absurd, implausible decisions, and their motivations were weak. So is it better than Jurassic Park 3?
I have heard that.
So is it better than Jurassic Park 3? Which I feel is similar theme.
Let's rank them. All
right.
A few more comments.
Garth Knight returns. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Alan stuck in a tree.
And where's the poll on whether Alan and I should wear red underwear? Trying to see if I have
Patrick Lemire, Henry Cavill. Yeah, look,
I have red underwear.
I know you
on
want
today.
to do it. Just do it. You don't need permission. Just do it.
I want
Patrick
the
Lemire,
chat
Henry
to decide.
Cavill went to Times Square wearing glasses, and no one recognized him. Also, he was wearing a Superman T-shirt at the time.
I'd love to see video of that.
Raylo Normie, hey, did y'all know that James Gunn put his dog in this movie?
I've heard that 700 times. Thank you, Raylo
The
Norman.
dog's similar to his dog. Let's put it that way. 200-watt Studio 8 for 5. Pedro Pascal is in the new Indiana Jones. He won't be afraid of snakes, but he will have social anxiety.
That happens. Thank
It
you
had
for
to
that.
be
Very
Facebook.
generous. Appreciate it. Hey, one last comment.
Yeah, from Aryan 69 for 96 for 40. No hope for Fantastic Four, but high anxiety for Superman.
I just hope we all like it and have a good time. We will talk about it next week. Instead of the press, we'll actually have seen the movie. So there you go. Hey, we love to talk to independent filmmakers here on this channel. And we love dinosaurs. So why not combine them into a conversation with Ryan Bellgardt, I hope I said that name right, who has the Jurassic Games Extinction coming out. Let's talk to Ryan on the show. Let's see what he thinks of dinosaurs. Hey, Ryan. Did I get your name right?
You got it right. Ryan Bellgardt. You got
awesome.
it.
That's
Yeah,
great.
thanks for hanging out all that time too.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Don't be sorry. I admittedly I hopped on a little bit early and then I went over to the comments, so I didn't realize you guys were trying to talk to me. But I was just,
good.
I was just watching and digging your guys' Superman breakdown.
We love to talk movies, and especially we love indie movies. Tell me about the Jurassic Games Extinction.
Well, the Jurassic Games Extinction is it's a sequel, but you could probably watch it without watching the first one, to a movie I did about 8 years ago called The Jurassic Games.
I remember that. I remember it.
Yeah, that's and so we got that one went out into the world and people remembered it. So that's why we made another one. So we're 8 years further along in our sort of filmmaking careers at our studio. So we decided to give a shot at doing some more stuff, especially with the newer technology that's out now, hoping that we could maybe sort of up the stakes, up the quality of the visual effects, and just make a fun dinosaur movie.
I mean, look, there's another movie coming out, a Jurassic. And what's great is, from an IP standpoint, you can't copyright dinosaurs. And I know from being a father, there's only one thing that, look, you can say this is a toy for boys. This is a toy for girls. Girls like this, boys like this. My experience is dinosaurs appeal to both boys and girls. It's very broad. And your timing on the release probably could not be better. I'm sure it was planned because it's out on VOD now. Is that right?
That's right. It's out on, you can watch it now on Apple, Amazon, really anywhere that you can download or stream movies. You can watch it, but yeah, look, we knew that this would be a great time to release it. So I'm not going to lie, we raced to the finish line to try to get this thing done in time to get it out. But yeah, it's really fascinating and interesting and fun to see people compare what we did, compared to what the new one, the big one's doing. And it's just kind of, fun even to be part of the conversation anywhere by anybody is kind of fun.
Let's take a look at the trailer for the movie together, and then we'll go to questions from our audience. Here we go.
Oh, hell yes. Who's ready for more Jurassic Games?
Strange things have been popping up in the game zones. We think someone inserted a virus.
So why do we need them?
They are coming as a precaution. I don't anticipate any troubles.
We're broadcasting. Welcome, contestants.
Tell me you didn't engage lethal injections. It's just got a whole lot more fun.
There is a way to take down the AI that controls the game. But it has to be done from the inside. Don't die. We're not killers. We can't play this game for real.
It's us against the game now. It's humans against a stupid machine. No one else is gonna die.
This is the end of the Jurassic Games.
This is why we watch the games.
I should say it's out now. And my God, I saw influences, obviously, from the Jurassic park / world franchises, but also a little Hunger Games in there, a little like a lot of different influences from big budget movies. How do you do this on such a small, limited budget?
Well, you're right. It's a lot of stuff. The Running Man, Tron, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, all those things that movies I grew up loving, and I've been kind of like I've likened this movie to, taking all my toys out of the toy box when I was a 10-year-old kid. The G.I. Joe and Transformer and Transformers, and dinosaurs and Star Wars, and playing them all together into one thing. Like, what would that be? And that was really fun for us to do. So, we've got a studio in Oklahoma City. That's where I live, and our studio is called Boiling Point. And we've got a small team of visual effects artists that just had a blast putting this together. We've been doing this for a while now, and we saw that when we got the opportunity to make this movie, we just poured a lot of love and passion and just a lot of hours and blood, sweat, and tears into trying to do our best to bring this thing to life. But it's a lot of like Unreal Engine, but traditional VFX stuff as well too. And then we've also got an LED wall stage at our studio that's not very big, so the entire movie shot in 20 foot by 20 foot square area. So the real challenge was to try to figure out how to take something that's so small and make it feel big. And part of the idea was to, well, what if the players in the game transform into dinosaurs, and that lets us explore the entire world. So it was kind of born with the idea of what can we do with the tools that we have.
I got to ask you, the first Jurassic Games came out 7 years ago. What has changed in terms of the CG for the dinosaurs in this one compared to the first one?
Well, the biggest thing is just using the game engine and using Unreal Engine instead of a more sort of traditional technique where we would render frame by frame, and it would take a super long time, to do shots. Now with the fast computers and high-end graphics cards, you can see what you're doing in real time, and you can render things out pretty quickly. So it allowed a small team to achieve what I think is a pretty cool level of believability and quality compared to the last one, and helps us do a bigger movie on sort of a truncated timeline and a small budget.
We've got over 2,000 people watching live, and we've got questions for our audience, a ton. Let's go to them. I'll try to get through these quickly. Want to say thank you to Freaking IKEA Chair, gifted 10 Film Threat memberships, along with Steve Z09. Appreciate you. And Alan, why don't you read from here?
Yeah, I will not eat the bugs. Asks, hi Ryan. I loved Army of Frankensteins and how you mix the idea of time travel, Civil War with horror. If you could do a newer mix of genres, what would you aim for? Keep up the great work.
Man, maybe this is some breaking news. You heard it here first, but I want to do a movie called Guitar Lords or Guitar Warriors, where it's like a musical kind of like Lord of the Rings, but they use guitars and heavy metal music as their weapons. That's what I want to do. And I don't know I don't know if I'm ever going to get to or what, but when I think about crazy genre mashups, and I know there's been, cartoons and things like that have kind of done that a little bit, but, taking the idea of I don't know, Scott Pilgrim or something, fighting with music, but I can just imagine, the dwarves have drums and just all that stuff. It sounds like it'd be a crazy fun thing to do. And I like putting stories in worlds that are just, things that you can't really just go out in your backyard and shoot,
I feel like the music's going to be the biggest hurdle in that project.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I actually wanted to be a film composer ever before a film director. So I feel like I would have a little bit of, I know enough to be dangerous, but yeah, I would definitely bring on some metal guys to make that work for sure.
Tony Elias for 2061. Wow, this production and budget is insanely impressive. Steve Z09 for 5. Did Ryan use Unreal Engine on this film? Yes.
Yeah, we did. We used Unreal Engine to create the backgrounds and for the LED wall stuff, and then we used those same backgrounds to do the bigger action pieces with the dinosaurs and everything. So yeah, so much of it was done inside of Unreal Engine.
Amazing. All right. Patrick Lemire, does Oklahoma offer any breaks for local productions?
Yeah, not just local productions. The Oklahoma Film Office has an incredible rebate, and to be honest, without that, it would be very difficult for us to do these projects. But yeah, I mean, they've got a really nice incentive, and it allows people like me to have, to do productions in Oklahoma and hire people to be able to work on these projects. But also, productions come in from out of state all the time, and they hire local crew, and that's why things like Twisters and things are sometimes shot, in Oklahoma.
All right. Stuff to watch 7682. Woohoo. It's on Tubi. I'll watch it later at my convenience.
That might be the first one. The first one I think is on Tubi right now. Yeah, I don't think this one's on Tubi yet.
Native Britain, what rating is it? Did you even bother?
Is it R-rated?
I'd say it's hard PG-13.
Hardcore. ADL is 24. The new film is 16 minutes longer than the original. Was that a result of a longer, more complex story, or were you able to shoot more efficiently after your experience with the first film to fit more in this film?
Well, I'm always trying to make something as short and tight as I can, and I, using the LED, that's a good question. Using the LED wall, I think that we were able to shoot so efficiently that I got into the edit with this, and it was like, oh wow, I have a lot more stuff than I usually do. Usually I'm like scrambling to try to fill up time, but this time I had more than I needed. So I just started cutting stuff out. Whether I cut enough or not is debatable, but I tried to, cut it as much as I could to keep it as tight as I could. And that was a nice luxury on this one.
All right. Well, AD Ellis, 24, fan of the first. Actor Adam Hampton returns from the original. What did his experience from the first bring him back to the set this time around?
He's awesome and somebody I love working with every chance I get. And he was kind of like, hey, how are you going to pull this off? Because he liked the first one where we were out in all these kind of exotic locations in Oklahoma. It's kind of cool actually, because, we've got like a desert, we've got, swamps and forests and caves and all kinds of stuff around here. But this time we shot it all inside the studio. So I don't know. He was always just kind of like, well, we'll see how it turns out. And I think at the end of it, he was excited and impressed about that. Another thing he brought to it too was that he's just kind of, I always liken him to sort of like the star player on your basketball team or something. He just makes everybody better. He comes in with such sort of like an intense appreciation and sort of like a gung-ho spirit to take it seriously, that everyone around him kind of does the same thing and it just elevates the project. So he's amazing, and I'd work with him every time I can.
Yeah. I never thought I'd hear the words exotic locations of Oklahoma.
I'm telling you. They're out there. They're out there.
Native Britain, did you make models first before computing models?
So, is the question like, did I make like actual models?
Yeah,
like that
I think so.
No, not really. I jumped head first into the digital stuff, but I didn't make the models digitally or otherwise for this movie. We have other artists that do that. As a matter of fact, Vlad Konstantinov he's kind of known as a digital dinosaur artist who did the digital models for the first movie, and we reused some of those, but people always talk about how much they love his dinosaurs. And then my wife, Stephanie, modeled some of the other ones too. So some of the newer dinosaurs, raptors and stuff she did, but we do it all digitally, and then we bring them into Unreal Engine.
All right. And Christopher Moonlight Productions, another filmmaker. I like the spirit of it. What was it like working with actors in a small space, helping them understand how to act for VFX and make the movie look big?
I mean, I guess we just have to trust each other, and you get some good actors in there that, they understand like, hey, this tennis ball that is going to be a dinosaur eventually. But being on the LED wall does help them. I think instead of a green screen, it's a step up from that, because on a green screen, they really have to use their imagination. But on the LED wall, they can at least see the environment that they're in. And I think that helps them. Also, too, we'll show them renders of the dinosaurs and show them like, hey, this is what you're going to turn into, or this is what it's going to kind of look like. And so they get an idea for that. But, so much of what we do with the action is actually determined by what they do as their actors in their performance. And that was one of the real fun parts of this movie, is that we get to animate the dinosaurs. Since the players are becoming dinosaurs, we get to animate the dinosaurs acting as if they were piloted by humans. So, for example, in the movie, one of them picks up a giant, column and smacks the other dinosaur with it. And that's not something a real dinosaur would ever do, but it's something a dinosaur piloted by a human would do. So it all kind of works together. They give me ideas and then we take their performances and translate that into our animation.
And a final question here from Zero Redux. Do you have room for Alligator Alcatraz on your 2026 roster?
Yeah.
It seems like a good movie. Why are people not jumping on that title?
I mean, if you're going to give me the rights to it, we'll make it.
I mean, you could with your digital effects, escaping a prison filled with a moat of alligators. How is this not a movie?
Yeah, I don't think anyone trademarked or copyrighted that. I think
that's a free public thing. Think about it.
I'm sold. You got it.
I love it. So the Jurassic Games Extinction is out now on VOD. The first film made is on Tubi. You can find it there. So I want to say, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. Please come back when Alligator Alcatraz comes out. Why are you not? You
do it. You got to do it.
You could write the script tomorrow.
We could.
And it's all synergy.
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody back at my place has already started it. So
get going on that. So thank you so much. Take care.
My pleasure, guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you.
Thanks. And there you go. That was fun.
That was
fun. I love when a filmmaker sees an opportunity.
I know.
There's this Jurassic World movie coming out. Why not time a new film? That's great. And we're going to leave it there. We will be back Friday. With our show. It'll be a shorter show. We'll talk Jurassic World Rebirth. We've got a lot of news stories, and we will be interviewing the director of one of my favorite documentaries, Hearts of Darkness. Director Fax Bear will be here, along with zoetrope archivist James McCoskey. I hope I said that right. McCoskey. Hey, it's a real name. And that is one of the great documentaries about Apocalypse Now. And I love that film. So, and we'll also talk Squid Game season 3. And are there any other movies coming out, Alan?
Hey, we just got invited to a screening of a
Freak Year Friday. I know you're excited, but also the results of our poll. Should Chris and Alan wear red trunks? Now, I believe in democracy. And as we're told, every election, democracy is at stake. Well, at Film Threat, we respect democracy. And the votes are in. Yes, 85%. Chris and Alan should wear the red trunks. No, 14%. I don't know what the 14% was. 1% undecided. It's crazy. I will do a video for members only. If you're not a member, you'll see on the thumbnail maybe a picture of me in the trunks. But I'm wearing trunks. Okay? And I'll do an out of the theater review in my trunks. Alan, and I'm glad that you believe in democracy as well.
Well, if I could just, if I can find a pair, I got to buy it somewhere.
Well, I have a pair currently. I don't know if I can stand up and show, but I have red underwear. So I'm just I will do that as a goof. So there you go. Because why? I believe in democracy. So there you go.
For truth, justice, and the American way.
Tom Siebert said, I voted no because I had a feeling Alan Ng didn't want to wear the trunks.
Well, I can wear the trunks, I guess.
He's more of a Cavill Superman fan.
But do I have to wear jeans or something underneath it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, I'm wearing jeans and I'm putting my red underwear on the outside.
Yeah. I should also mention I'm taking my daughter to see this movie.
Well, she can film it then.
Yeah, if she'll go now.
We're going to leave it there. Hey, thank you to our mods. Thank you to Ryan Bellgardt for being here today. Thanks to Atomic Lori and Glenn Nuccio, everyone who sent in a super chat and participated. And thank you for all your kind words about what's going on with my family. I do appreciate that. Everyone's been really supportive, and thanks so much. And this is a welcome break to be able to talk to you guys and tell stories about my mom. So thanks again. We'll leave it there. I don't know if Alan had anything else to add. I'm not sure, Alan, if you had anything else to add.
Other than the usual?
Yeah, let's do the usual.
Oh, all right. Well, then let's get out of here.
See you Friday.